Hi, this is Shuprit Singh, and I'm a student of Bachelor's of Information Technology from ATMC College. And now I'm going to talk about interactive voice response or IVR. Well, firstly, interactive voice response is basically a menu-based system which is used for routing the calls of the customer to their most specific agents. And this practice saves a lot of time, and it is quite efficient and saves a lot of cost as well. So, firstly, let's take a look about some of the business advantages of IVR. First of all, it saves, as I said, it saves a lot of times. Like if a customer calls and the interactive voice response automatically detect the customer problems and it redirect the call to the most specific agents instead of stucking the customers to the most to the that boring marketing questions and all those sort of things. So it saves the customers times as well as employers time. And secondly, the automate routine tasks, which means that if there is something which customer needs to answer or if customer wants to find out, it can all be done with the use of IVR. And so if a customer is have to, for example, if a customer have to find out how much money he has in his account, or in other scenario if a customer wants to know the current details of his order and all these sort of things which actually don't require any persons to talk with the customer or the user. So the interactive voice response can do all that simple things without taking too much time or without the need of any person behind it. And the third advantage could be the gather information, which means that for if a person or a user called in the customer to the customer care, and the user needs to provide some information first in order to proceed next, like his name, his address, his date of birth, and some other informations. So by getting that information, it becomes very easy for agents or for the employers to find out what problems the user have and who is the best persons to talk with, and what could be the solution of that, so they will not have to ask these questions again and again to the users. So it also saves a lot of times, and these are all the advantages of IVR. Uh, and now let's talk about some of the disadvantages of IVR in the business field. First of all, most of the people actually don't like to talk with the machines. Basically, that they give it a term machine. They like to talk with the people because talking with the machine sometimes get very frustrating and irritating. And there are some cons which I'm going to discuss about, like the menu. Sometimes there are some IVRs which has very large menus and contains a very huge amount of information in that, and sometimes users stuck in those menus, while like if he goes to one menu and he have another menu, and so the users feel very frustrating in that kind of scenarios. So the menus needs to be short, and the information need to be quite good in that menus. And there are some cases like sometimes the users get very large messages, or um, very large messages, or I can say, like if we are going through a menu in the IVR, user get a very huge information to listen, or sometimes the user get to listen some irritating songs and tunes as well, so it becomes frustrating as well. And the third thing is, like in some scenarios user actually have to give a response by speaking something, like in the IVR a menu asks users to say his name, not write down his name, say his name. So in case some cases, like if a user say his name and the menu or IVR didn't get it right, he will ask the user to say it again and again and again. So at the end of that time user get frustrated and just end up the call, and this become very frustrating eventually. So in those case of scenario, the menus need to be quite short, and uh, the companies need to prevent those speaking things, and all these sort of things can lead to a good IVR. So that's all I want to say today. So thank you.